we're going to assume a lot of things in life today. Like that we're recording, and this is critical to the history of me dissociating on the last day of my vacation. I'm Mongo, joined as always by my co-host Lager Busa, and we are going to be discussing really bizarre San Diego comic. But before we get there, how are you this week?
Not too bad. I finally got my doctor's appointment this week. I've had problems with my neck and head for a while now. So I went in and getting ready to tell him like what the problem is. And he starts taking my blood pressure and he takes it like 5 times and I'm like, oh, okay, wasn't on the docket, but sure. And like one of the last times he did it, he's like, okay, now I need you to uh be quiet and look out the window and look for a murder of crows because there's these crows hanging outside and he's like, and don't talk. And I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna sit here quiet, look straight, don't talk. And then as I'm looking, he like starts talking to me and he's staring like right at me. So I'm like looking at him and I'm like, am I supposed to like respond or because he says don't say anything, but like he's talking to me, so that was weird. But anyway, yeah, my neck's a bit messed up. It's because of bad posture and like leaning forward on a computer desk like I probably am right now. And I woke up a while ago and like my whole head was tingling, and I was like, what's going on here? Do I have like a brain tumor or something? Like what the hell? And I was waiting for it to go away. It didn't go away, and it became so distracting. Like I was trying to read something and I couldn't. I was distracted because of my head. I was like, I can't even read this. And I mean, it's pretty much gone now. It sometimes appears in some places, but with that, I did start to get like some neck pain and stuff. So yeah, it's all because of like posture and everything. And he recommended physiotherapy. And my blood pressure is a bit high. I might have to get some medication. Both my parents are on medication, so he said might be time for you as well. But other than that, pretty okay week overall. How about you?
I exist. That's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
my thing for this week. So I
I
was,
barely exist.
Monday and Tuesday was kind of just like, whatever, and then Wednesday was like preview night, and for San Diego Comic Con, and there's a number of things we can get into. The DC line, they did a mini panel just at the Mattel booth on the show floor where they showed like two waves of the premiere line, and then they were like, by the way, guys, the big reveal for the collector's line is going to be January 1st when it goes live on Mattel Creations. But at New York Comic Con in October, there will be a it's going to be a Batman or a Superman. Um, I can't see it being anything else. They did also get asked about the Absolute line, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do those." And I saw, I think it was Jay Cochran on Toy News International saying like, "Oh, that's gonna have to be the collector's line because I don't see a lot of kids reading those comics." Uh, Absolute Batman sold millions of units, and there's only like 22 issues out. It would be fair to say some of those issues probably found their way towards people who are younger.
Yeah.
But I also think like you can't do a $12.99 Absolute Batman. There's no fucking way.
No. They did. I think McFarlane showed off theirs, right?
Yeah. So there was a lot of speculation that like a lot of stuff from Todd was gonna have to get cut. And it looks like he combined the two Absolute Batman renders that were out there into one figure that is fucking Walmart exclusive.
Hmm.
Meaning, if you were a McFarlane collector and you really wanted that thing, well, you're fucked. Unless it's also available on the McFarlane website. But what I read was that it was exclusive. Just, um, Mattel's WWE showing was really bizarre. Um, they pre
Oh, we lost you.
right here, brother.
Wow, that was
You
scary. I don't know what happened there.
Might be because my phone screen
Oh,
uh,
what? What?
went to sleep. What?
It made like a really squeaky, like not squeaky, but like shrieky noise.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
We saw like an Ultimate Edition Penta, and I think they're changing the packaging for these things because that Penta and the new Ultimate Defining Moments and the Mr. Iguana Ultimate all have that same box design.
Mm.
And I feel like that's probably not going to be an online exclusive thing. And also, they've run with that Ultimate Edition packaging the way that it is for basically the entirety of the Ultimate Edition line, which is what, 7 years now that those have been a thing. So, I think it's probably time to refresh the look of those figures. We saw the John Cena retirement Ultimate Edition. It's in the same style of box as the Cody and Logan Paul. I think Jesse Ventura was in that style of box too. We got a good look at the X Pac Ultimate, and like shock of all shocks, it's the black and green attire that everybody thought it was going to be, which is cool.
Yeah.
Not a complaint. We saw WCW Champion Booker T as an Ultimate Edition, which some of those heads look a little WWE 13 to me. Like, but beggars can't be choosers at this point. I'm just happy we're getting that version of Booker because we've never gotten it. Um, their showing was strange. I mean, everybody's showing was strange this year, right? Like, they did a whole panel on Thursday with no mainline ultimates revealed. They had Brock and Bronson Reed and Sheamus, I think Liv Morgan, and I don't remember who else they had, but there were some shown, and then at the panel they did not say shit about those. It was like Coliseum Collection, Natural Disasters, Mr. Perfect and British Bulldog Ultimates coming to Target. They showed 3 Monday Night War Ultimates: Booker, Eddie Guerrero, and China. There should be another WCW one in there somewhere, I think.
um. Yeah. There was someone. They showed. God, who was it? They had. Who was it that they had as part of the Monday Night Wars that didn't make any sense? There was somebody that.
Danhausen is fucking Steve Austin.
Yeah, I thought there was like another one. Oh no, maybe it was Danhausen because I was like, that's stupid. Like, why?
I mean, they're doing an Ultimate Moments, which is the Defining Moments Ultimate Edition set. Danhausen for ringside. I
Yeah.
didn't. They're milking that, and it's people are gonna get sick of that fucking figure. I mean, people were already sick of seeing new ones this weekend.
Yeah.
Probably the most interesting stuff to come.
Oh God, we've really lost you this time.
You haven't lost me at all. I am right here.
Okay.
Um, there's clarification on one of the AAA figures, and we'll get to that in a moment. Most noteworthy to me is that um, Rey Mysterio and Psychosis, as in the original one, are getting what are basically remakes of the original Kellyan figures from the 90s. Ray will have the jacket. I think Bill's still using the fucking contemporary Ray head sculpt on these, and I say Bill because he was the one that talked about them at the panel. We're getting Dr. Wagner Jr., which is cool. We're getting Vikingo. We're getting an Ultimate Edition Psycho Clown. But to a lot of people, I think the most significant reveal was the Ultimate Edition part.
Yeah.
So this was one that I saw a lot of people debating because it has both the Laparca 2 mask and the Laparca 1 mask. But there's pictures of the original Parka wearing the mask that number 2 is associated with. And Wrestling Figure News told me yesterday he talked to Kevin Kleinrock from Master Public, and it's a figure of Laparca 2. did not help some of the confusion surrounding which version of Laparca it was supposed to be.
Yeah, we.
Um,
What did Kevin Kleinrock say? Because you cut off there.
it's a Laparca 2 figure that also has a Laparca 1 head. So it's basically it's both guys.
I think I think I saw like an interview or read something where they clarified like yeah it was supposed to be a representation of both, um, which is fine. I mean it works. Uh, it did make me wonder like how pissed is LA Park gonna get at this? Is he gonna try and do something? But I mean really, what can he do?
There's probably an argument he could make if he's, you know what though, if Kevin Kleinrock was asked about it and had info on it, almost 100% there was a deal struck with him and WWE for
Mhm.
LA Park. Almost certainly. Which, you know why you would feed him to WWE before you do your own uh like lucha line figure? Oh, but you know, I don't understand a lot of decisions that are being made. Did you see the premium series from Boss Fight reveal?
No, I did not. Oh no,
So they
sorry. Yes, I
announced
did. I saw the like very early
it's
like
Frey,
scopes, right?
yeah, it's Frey Tormenta, Masquerita Dorada, and Diamante Azul.
Right.
These are not going to sell at all, but I am here for all fucking three of these.
Yeah, I was expecting more from them. Or like different names. I don't know. I just felt like the figures that they've released so far, I was expecting something else, but I mean they're pretty cool.
I like I said, Comic Con this year was weird in terms of like what we got shown. Also, I
Yeah.
want to shout out Ringside because they did put the Sabu figure up the same day that they or the day after they put up a ton of the WWE ones, but they put Sabu as the first thing you see when you go to the website. So no matter what you're going there to fucking pre-order, you have no choice but to find out that they're making that Sabu, which is
Yeah.
very smart. I
Yeah.
like that figure. I'm just tired of the gold pants. I'm tired of
I
green.
the whole look of that figure I sort of associate with WWE ECW, you know, with like the pulled back hair and I think even the gold pants. Um I was hoping that you know they had an alt head, but it's not really that much different. I was hoping that we'd at least get like the you know prime Sabu with like the hair over covering his face, and I always think of like the neon pants. So I was gonna order it, but then when I was like looked at it, I was like, you know, I really don't like this pulled back hair look. So um, I can't imagine. I mean, they specifically mention in the description gold, like it's very apparent that um they're gonna do a different one, um, different gear. So it would be nice if they do an alt head like that. Um, I don't know, I think it
I
would
don't
also be
think you're getting an alternate head. You're probably going to get alternate soft goods payments, but probably not an alternate.
right. Well, there's two different heads in the one that's already available, but they're pretty much the same. Um, I think it would be nice of them if they just released like the pants itself. So essentially, you could buy a pair and just swap them out. That'd be neat if they did something like that for people. But yeah, if it's just like that if that's the look that they're going for, then I'm not gonna buy it.
I see that the pulled back hair, and I think like TNA
That too,
also.
yeah, yeah.
It's post ECW Sabu, and the zombie figure has the hair slicked back too.
I think that
It's
sucks because it was like a chance to do something different, and you look at the Road Warriors, and they did New Japan Road Warriors, which was I don't think people were really expecting. So you know, when you had Sabu, you could have done something different for a change, and they didn't.
they're also scared of doing anything that may infringe on WWE, which is really funny because they did fucking Demolition.
Yeah.
The choices made with the line are, I don't know. I like that Sabu. It's a good figure. I would like if Ringside would let us know if there's 2 versions coming, because I'm not going to be happy if I get that thing in hand and in 6 months they're like, oh, here's like a blue version. Or like,
I just think that the way that they specifically mentioned gold in the title of the figure itself, indicates to me that they're going to do another one.
it might. I don't know. They're very weird about how they handle announcements and just generally discussing.
Yeah,
Because I'm willing to bet you if you ask Tom, he's gonna be like, "Well, we might do another."
Right. They might say it'll depend on sales or whatever, which I can't imagine they would have trouble selling this at all. So
No, because like Sabu's last modern style figure was what, fucking 2007.
yeah,
Like this should do very well. I apparently the like knockoff Remco they did sold really well. So we'll see. As I knock my fan. That was probably very loud. I do apologize.
nah, it wasn't as bad as the shriek earlier. I don't know what that was. That was awful.
I don't know either. What was I gonna mention? Oh, the KWK stream yesterday. That show was long as fuck.
Yeah,
And
I sort of had it on I wasn't listening at first, and then started to listen. Then I sort of had it on in the background.
So he lost his passport, which means we potentially missed out on fucking getting Stan Hansen.
There's got to be
Which
contact. Can he not just like contact his son or something? Or, like, there's got to be contact information.
He said he put feelers out, but like he would have had a chance to have met him face to face. I think was the whole idea there. The big thing to take away from this stream is the O-ring line. He basically flat out said it was what he viewed as like the future. He basically said like retros are going to become secondary. And if you paid attention, the look on the face of the guys from Fully Posable was priceless. They looked like they just watched a dog being shot. Like they were trying to not sell it, and they sold it pretty hard. There were retro announcements. I'm trying to remember. Kind of go through everybody that was announced. Check his page real quick. Perhaps he did. No, he certainly did not. And I don't think KWK's done it yet either. Which I guess means I'm gonna have to find the fucking live stream, mute it, and pull it up and start fast forward.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the retros that were announced. I remember any of
them. So I'm trying to remember if they announced any retros before they got to the No, okay, so they demoed the O-ring figures before. Okay. And we did see the PG-13 sculpts and the pit bulls, and the sculpts look perfectly fine. I don't see any issue with them. They reconfirmed that Conan's been signed. Probably the biggest like retro signing that we got yesterday was they're doing Luna Vachon. They announced a legendary tag team. The silhouettes pretty clearly imply Rock and Roll Express. They asked if people wanted Crime Time figures. I know you were hyped about the Vince Russo signing.
Well, I was in the bathroom when that was announced, so I thought that was very appropriate.
Yeah. For the O-ring line, they reconfirmed Bruiser Brody and Berserker. Orient Express, I already knew those were coming. Then it was announced that Luna was going to be coming to that line, and also Gangrel would be. I hadn't heard anything about either name, Luna or Gangrel. So like when Gangrel popped up, I was like, "Oh, that's a good pull.
Yeah,
that's a really good pull." The Max Moon 2-pack got mentioned. He had mentioned that to me. Yoshitatsu and Hayabusa, I think, were the last 2 names that were brought up. So I think it's going to be Brody and Berserker in November. January or February, it's going to be Orient Express. February or March will be Luna and Gangrel. The one after that, if we're taking it in order of reveal, that's kind of how it would shake out. And then Hayabusa and Yoshitatsu would be together. The third line was announced. I kind of figured this is where they were going to go with it, but it will be the Kayfabe Legacy series, which are going to be LJN style figures, but stylized. Sean specifically mentioned like 80s and early 90s Marvel comics. So you're going to get Hayabusa as interpreted by Rob Liefeld.
Mhm.
Announcements were Orient Express, Max Moon, Dory Funk Jr., Ken Patera, and Hayabusa. I don't think there was. Oh, and Los Conquistadors, who I think are kind of a perfect fit for the O-ring too. But I don't have any inside info on anything.
Yeah, I mean,
they
out of
also showed. Oh, go on.
Out of that lineup, I mean, I'm probably going to try to buy everything I can Hayabusa. So
Yeah, I was watching the stream with one of my friends for Hayabusa figures to buy next year. Because
yeah,
here was an interesting thing because they took steps to mention that this wasn't ending, but Bertha Faye is the last J&J figures exclusive for this year, and he said everything would be shifting over to Squared Circle Toys.
Mhm.
Every O-ring figure is going to have a 1 of 100 counterpart on Squared Circle Toys, and it sounds like the Kayfabe Legacy exclusives, like the variants, are going to be Squared Circle Toys too.
yeah, and we talk about AI. Holy crap! When that guy popped up and his logo in the background, I was like, "That's the most AI thing
Yeah,
I've seen today."
dude, all of his advertisements, it was. I was so on the fence, and then it's like I can only like I thought you could they'd maybe eke out you could get the like 1 of 100s directly from KWK. No,
Mhm.
no, the only place to get the fucking SummerSlam 90 Jake was from Squared Circle. That was a fucking shit. Speaking of AI, we have to talk about the card art, and there was a controversy about it. So I got sent those like the reveal of the packaging like fucking by 3 different people. I want to say it was at least 3. And I saw them when I was half awake, and I was like, "Oh god damn it!" And when I woke up, I looked at them, and I was like, "The Jake in Black is kind of setting off the fucking Spider." And one of the artists just started talking to me and followed me on Instagram. I was like, "There's been no AI use here. Like, it's me and my 2 friends doing this." I they look a certain way, and I understand because I thought they were the second I saw them. It sucks
Yeah,
that we live in a time where like there has to be such skepticism, and I'm not saying it's not justified. Um, but like immediately without even asking, just to be like, "Oh, I was gonna buy this until I saw you use it." And the same guy getting his answer and the artist being tagged and everything, and then coming back like 12 fucking hours later to be like, "Why is Bad News holding a possum on the card? This is AI." And like arguing with fucking KWK repeatedly. And it dawned on me, this is one of those fuckers from like wrestling who
I
doesn't actually have a take or anything. He just wants to fucking troll.
actually think it is. I actually think he commented on the thread for KWK on wrestling figs.
I KWK referenced lying about them on forums. So yeah. Like I said,
Yeah,
I understand the skepticism. I was skeptical. Um, but like there's a difference between skepticism and also I guess one of the artists from Title Run Toys decided to jump in on this, and he has me blocked, and that's how I learned that. Because you were able to see his profile, I can't. And I was talking to a couple of people, and they're like, "Yeah, I guess kind of an asshole. He's blocked me and unblocked me multiple times. I have no idea why." And I, again, I understand the skepticism around AI. I understand not particularly liking it because I don't really like it. But like when somebody tags the artists and the artists are like, "No, no, I did it," I didn't use fucking anything for this. I drew it myself. My friends painted it. To continue pushing forward, and like you see it with like everything Mel Coleman posts. You see it with everything that Bartlett Studio guy that did the Mania 30 or Mania 40 edition of 2K24 gets shit constantly because like, well, this is clearly AI. Like we've gotten to the point where some people just think anything art is AI. I see people saying that all of the stuff Marvel and DC showed. I saw somebody say the Peach Momoko cover looks like AI. And after a certain point, some of these people on social media are either just they're bots or they're just fucking idiots or they're just trolls. And it's very unfortunate to see people not able to distinguish.
Yeah, I understand like why, because it does feel very AI, like the way it's drawn. It just, especially like when people were like really getting into AI, it sort of has that look of how AI would, you know, um, generate things, just the way it looks. But I mean, at the end of the day, if the artists and the guy that's releasing the figures, if everyone says like, no, this is an AI, this is an actual drawing, then that's what it is. To keep pushing it and say that you're being lied to or whatever is just kind of ridiculous. But yeah, it's dramatic for the sake of dramatic, and the Title Run Toys guy, like, what a way to show up your business and your stupidity when you keep going on and on about it like that. I think that's just what a lack of professionalism, you know?
I didn't get to see the comments, so I only saw the responses to him and I was like, I am so curious what this.
I can maybe pull it up here.
There's there's a lot of stuff going on around like the title run toy stuff that gives me kind of a bad feeling about considering buying their shit.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find here where the comments.
Also, I'll note real quick, they did show a prototype of the ring for the O-Ring Heroes. And I don't know if this was revealed the last time we talked. So the white shirt Earl Hebner comes with the Raw as War style ring, which is the 1 of 100 exclusive to Squared Circle. Blue shirt Hebner is with the more golden era looking ring. They
Mhm.
said the turnbuckles were or the ring posts were a little too tall, and they were going to be, they were looking to take them down. At first, he said about a half a centimeter, and then said a centimeter. I thought it was very funny. The sculptor was like in the comments, like show one of the figures in the ring. And the ring scales really well beyond the ring post being a little bit too tall. Like this looks basically perfect. Apparently, the ring base is in 4 pieces, and they're looking to have it already pre-assembled when you get it. So you just have to put the ring posts in and then loop the ropes through, and you're ready to go. I do have my concerns about the posts bending in over time, which I understand is like a thing that happens with wrestling figure rings. You can't really the ropes inherently pinching on the posts, and the posts are made of plastic. I get it, um, but I do worry about how tight the ropes are going to be for sure.
I think the comments by the Title Run Toys guy have been removed. Uh
Uh,
I think he did end up apologizing at the end, but yeah, he just kept pushing it. There was someone that said, I can't find the comment, but they talked about how, yeah, the Possum and Bad News Arms might disagree, and they called it a rat on WWF television. So people seem to think that because it's a possum, it's supposed to actually be a rat. When, I mean, that's what they called it. You know what I mean? Like, people are taking it too literally. So that's seems like one of the reasons why they think it's actually AI when it's not. uh, yeah, what a mess.
I saw the one guy who came back like 12 hours later and was like, "That's an American possum." And I was like, that's where I kind of thought the guy was like a bad faith troll, because if you're buying a fucking Bad News Brown figure at this point, it basically almost every single one has come with the quote unquote Harlem sewer. I'm pretty sure the
Mhm.
Classic Superstars came with it.
Yeah, yeah. No, they don't. They don't understand at all.
Like, if you're buying a Bad News Brown figure, you know what the fuck is coming with it. You know the story behind
Yeah.
it. It's just people wanting to be stupid. They did they did not show like Aja Kong or Buddy Landell. Basically, anything that would be past September, they didn't really show. They did show Dink, and yesterday was how I learned Dink was Canadian because they're doing a Tiger Jackson. Is it like 1 of 200 for Collect and Connect?
Yeah. I think I remember hearing that like a long time ago, but it wasn't something that I've retained that he was Canadian in my head.
Yeah, it's crazy. In terms of the O-ring figures, the base figures are 29.99 a piece. The regular ring is 54. The 1 of 100s, you just tack an extra $5 on. The regular versions are available basically everywhere that carries KWK stuff except for J&J figures. I think they're like the one that didn't carry. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see how this line does. I know that they're hoping for like some crossover sales from like GI Joe collectors.
Yeah, he
Like they're
specifically
really
mentioned that.
counting. Yeah, I get it. I think I think Jake's one of the better guys you could have let off with just because you're targeting collectors of 80s toys. He's Jake the Snake Roberts. He's one of the more recognizable WWF guys from that time period. So, you might get people to bite. I think Bruiser Brody and Berserker might be a little bit of. I mean, Berserker's going to have the fucking sword and the shield. He might appeal. Orient Express might be a little tough. I think Gangrel and Luna weirdly have a decent chance of being like crossover hits with people that collect GI Joes
hmm
because Luna looks like Luna and Vampire. Jesus Christ, Gangrel's a fucking giant vampire guy.
Yeah, and like Hayabusa as well. It'll be fun to see like pictures of him next to like Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and even like the GI Joe like Scorpion and Sub Zero and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah,
and some of the Street Fighter figures. I think that'll be really neat.
yeah. This is the line I'm most excited about in terms of wrestling figures. There's a lot of cool stuff being done, but like this checks so many boxes of what like 4-year-old me wanted out of wrestling figures. So as long as I'm able to, I'm all in on this shit. We did see that Zombie Sailor has a deal to sell his figures on Walmart.com now, but he also has a there was a 1 of 500 Pinnacle Collection Jeff Jarrett based on I want to say it was SummerSlam '94.
Yeah.
Basically, he's in Walmart colors that went up as part of Walmart Collector Con. I think those are being shipped directly from Walmart.
I don't know. I just know that they went up on the Canadian website and you can't ship to a Canadian address on Walmart.com for those, which is very annoying. I mean, they had the Vampiro up on there too, the Boss Rush Vampiro, and I was like, oh, I wonder if possible to get that, but nope, no shipping to Canada, so that's a shame.
That's fucked up.
It
I
is.
saw that there was like some reveals from Mitch this week. Like he's doing a new version of Waylon Mercy that doesn't have the entrance shirt molded on, and I know it's been a while since that Waylon Mercy he did came out, but I don't know that people were necessarily clamoring for another Waylon Mercy.
Yeah, he's doing another Savio Vega as well. And I don't know. I just feel like it kind of feels like scummy to me. I mean, it's one thing if it's like a big company and you expect them to do new versions of previous figures. Like Mattel and Goldberg and stuff like that. I mean, they've done everyone again and again. But when it's a small company, it's like you sort of expect them to be one and done just because they're a smaller company. And I don't know, and I feel like a lot of people view it that way too. Like, oh, we're probably not going to get another Savio. But to re-release them, and then those old figures sort of become like pointless because then the new ones are probably going to look better. Um, So I don't know. I just feel like a little bit icky about it.
I mean, if the figures are improved, I don't have a problem with it. My thing would be if he just decided to do a second run of the original Waylon Mercy. Like, okay, then you're just putting the same fucking thing out there. Is there like any idea of what the Savio is going to be in attire wise?
I'll double check here. I didn't get a good grasp of it when I looked at it. I mean, I briefly looked at it last night. We'll see here. Grapplers and gimmicks. Okay. The not really, because the shirt's the same color as his the rest of his body. The only thing that's painted are pants. So yeah, you don't really get a good idea of what exactly he's going to be wearing on it. The other thing he announced was the Goon. He's doing a Rick Martel with the ponytail. Also doing Regium, Waylon Mercy as well.
In the render I saw of Waylon, or might have been the unpainted prototype that I saw of Waylon Mercy, is clearly the Al Snow upper body and the Quebecers legs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fault anybody for reusing parts in scenario, but like, I just for what Mitch is going to charge for that, and also like, I get that with wrestling figures, there's an audience for fucking anything. Really, I do. I understand it. After a certain fucking point, how much of an audience is there for like how many of this Waylon Mercy is he going to make?
I mean, hopefully that's it, unless he has another idea of like, oh, I can make this better again, and he does another one. He also posted a custom of Henry Godwin dressed as like Ministry Undertaker, and he's like, "This is just a fantasy. Thank you for making dream. Your fantasy was Henry Godwin as the Ministry Undertaker. All right."
Well, he did that recently with fucking Owen Hart when it was like, oh, the zombie Owen's going to be
Oh,
shipped.
yeah, that was very much like like I don't know, like a call out or something. Where it's like, oh, if we had it, I could do it better. You know, it's like the way you were saying, like, too bad we couldn't release this. You know, it's like, don't you guys want this instead of the other one? You know what I mean? It just seemed to like poke at him a bit.
Yeah, it's I don't get it. Mitch is
Strange
very
guy.
strange. Yeah. Um. Yeah, looking at the Savio, it looks like a new sculpt. I have no idea what the opening on the hand is for, unless it's gonna. If it's an opening for like a. Oh, you know what it is? I'm pretty sure those are arms from Sergeant Slaughter.
Mm.
Yeah, 100% they are. Okay, so he's really reusing parts on that. I guess if it's a different attire, that's something. If it's the same attire though, that's pretty shitty. And there's a conversation to be had about just doing the same figures over and over again and being like
Right.
slightly different head sculpt here. That I don't like. If it's like
Yeah.
a significant improvement in the same attire, I've got no problem. If it's a marginal improvement in the same attire, unless the other figure is going crazy on the secondary market, which is like that's the thing with these lines. Some of these figures end up going like Orient Express from KWK is like $100 on the secondary market. Like if he did a second run of those, okay, that's fine. But like if they were still dying everywhere, or like they were just like regular price on eBay, and he did a second run, this is just. Is Mitch overpaying for the fucking rights for these guys? Is he losing money on these that badly? There's no way he's turning a profit. Like everybody I've ever talked to about it is like, there's no fucking.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to. I wonder about that for a lot of these lines actually. Like, who's actually making a profit? You know.
I know that KWK suffered a loss last year, but that was also because of the thing we discussed a bunch where like his retros got way cheaper because he he made an investment of some sort, and then it was like the retros got way cheaper, and then all of a sudden we were back to the retros being $40 because that shit wasn't working. And it led to a lot of dead stock. Like you can still get Ox Baker and the Berserker. They're not hard to find.
Yeah.
Bull Nakano, I think you can still get.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that's part of why KWK is being so cautious. Like the O-Ring Heroes being 500 and 100 respectively for the regular and the Squared Circle Toys versions. I think it's why he's going so far with the limited 500s and the 1 of 200 variants of the retros. It's probably better to have something that's super limited and has value on the secondary market than to have, hundreds of figures rotting at the J&J warehouse or at the Asylum warehouse or like whatever the hell. And, Mitch sells Mitch stuff. Nobody else does really. I think maybe J&J do. I don't know. It feels like they sell all of the different indie lines after a certain point. But like, there's no way unless Mitch is doing super small runs and got a sweetheart deal from the factory. There's no way he's making money off of like any of this shit. I mean, maybe the Kevin Nash figures because I guess he got a sweetheart deal from Kevin Nash and he allegedly did not donate any of the money that was supposed to be donated. That's alleged.
Yeah.
And I was talking with somebody about this yesterday because, again, KWK noted, like, retros are going to be second place going forward to O-Ring. And it sounds like the LJN line is going to be like a distant third. Like, he's just doing this because it's a form factor people really like, and maybe it'll make the talent more money. And I respect that to an extent. But, and you and I have talked about this on the show for like a year now, probably more than a year. It feels like the enthusiasm around Hasbro style retros is cooling off rapidly.
Yeah, I mean, everyone sort of overflooded the market, I mean, a while ago, especially when you saw different brands releasing figures of the same wrestler. And we know why. It's because the license with God, I'm forgetting the name. Something Brands.
Oh, CMG. Yeah, you have to pay
Yeah.
a fucking fortune to get any of those guys.
Yeah, so that's why you see so many of like, Bulldog was the first one. I think that was just like everywhere you could think of. Everyone had a Bulldog, and then you've had plenty of Savages and others. So yeah, they definitely like over flooded the market. There's going to be people want to see, and some names that aren't the best, but are they really worth it? It feels like a lot of the big names have done. I mean, you've reached that point where it's like, well, what else do you do? So I think like focusing on a new line is a really good idea at this point, and I think the O-Ring is something that has never really been capitalized on. So I think it's a smart move. And we'll see how he does. I mean, I hope he does very well with them. I imagine he will. I mean, I definitely want to see some more of that. As I talked about before, the Hayabusa is definitely one that I would get. It was funny too when he talked about the LGN line. He was talking to someone, another company, about making a Hayabusa LGN, and he said like they ghosted him at the end of the day. I mean, that was probably just like the majors, right? Like who else would it be? Latoon?
Yeah, like unless somebody else. Ooh, you know what? Maybe that would track, I guess. I know that yesterday when I looked, because on shop, like websites that use Shopify, you can basically just put like a crazy number into something and it'll tell you basically about how many are left. I know that yesterday it looked like there were like maybe 60 of the 1 of 100 like Jakes left.
Hmm.
And that's between like the figure itself, the bundle for just the 1 of 100s, and the bundle for everything. Yeah, selling 30 of those in one day, especially when it's an unproven line, that's not bad.
No.
It also, Pro Wrestling Tees re-released their Jake, and it was $5 cheaper, and it looked like it probably should have been another $5 cheaper at minimum. That I don't know if that would have hurt it. Also, the majors posted about these, which I thought was interesting because KWK was persona non grata for them for a long fucking time.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
I saw that and I messaged Wrestling Figure News and I was like, what changed? When did they start? Like, when did they start acknowledging fucking KWK? Because they spent years shitting on that guy, like calling him a con man and shit, all the while, you know, praising Mitch, which just praising Mitch, but also lambasting Mitch. I don't get it. But yeah, hopefully this line succeeds. Hopefully the kayfabe legacy stuff does well too. Like, I don't have room to collect LJNs like that, but I anything that's not the Hasbro retros, I want to see succeeding at this point, just because I think I finally hit my point where, you know, Zombie did that whole ECW wave, and I was like, fuck, I've got to get it. And then I missed the pre-order window, and I just kind of looked at it and was like, no, whatever. They were just gonna sit in my closet. I don't care.
Yeah, I think of anyone, like, for when it comes to like future retros, I think KWK would be the most interesting anyway. And it's sort of interesting that he's the one being like, okay, this is secondary now, just because the names he's released, like Tenryu and Kabuki and he could get some interesting names. And I'm sure he was talking about, like, when he wanted to talk to Stan Hansen, he's probably talking about a Stan Hansen retro. Um, so it's funny that that's his secondary line now, because of all the people that are making them, he's the one that, for me, could be potentially the most interesting. Um, other than Liga, um, Hayabusa, Sasuke, uh, Tenryu, and Kabuki are the only retros I bought in like a while. So, yeah, the idea of like having more like Japanese talent would be really cool. And the other brands, I don't see them, having that sort of reach that he does.
No, and I did I ever mention that I talked with him about Kobashi and Misawa and the
Yeah,
Pillars? I think
yeah,
I think I did privately. I don't remember if I did on the show. But his take was like, you know, for Kobashi, he'd have to do a 1 of 500 of Orange Trunks Kobashi, and then GHC champion would have to be like 1 of 200. Like, he was being really conservative with the idea that, like, I don't know how well these guys are going to sell.
Mhm.
And the truth is, like, we balked at Epic for saying, like, if there's a market for Misawa, we'd love to take him. We don't know how many Onitas they sold. It doesn't seem like they sold a ton.
Yeah, which was interesting too, because I remember at one point they were talking about maybe doing another one, whether it be like a bloody variant or like a different look or whatever the case may be. I don't know if that's still on the table or not.
Was that when they still were trying to do a Hayabusa without his daughter's knowledge?
Probably.
Is my question. Yeah, that's my that's like my one thing is I I believe they wanted to do all of the Onitas they could possibly do, but I feel like to them doing a second Onita is kind of pointless if you can't put him in the same box or at least the same series with Hayabusa.
Right. I would have liked to have seen a great Nita. I don't know how that would have sold, but I think that would have been excellent. With the mullet as well. Like if you had the more of like the classic Onita as opposed to or the like mid-90s as opposed to like, the Muta Onita or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm down for basically any Japanese talent. Like, Mitch is obviously never going to go after Japanese talent.
Mhm.
Zombie, the only Japanese talent he signed are ones that have been on WWF, WCW, or ECW TV.
Right. And it's a shame because I do think there is an audience for that, obviously. Um, the idea of signing two like Aja Kong and doing that Bull Nakano. I think, yeah, I don't know how much these would sell, but like a little bit of a Joshi line, like if you had Akira Hokuto and then like Megumi Kudo. And I know I'm asking for a lot there, but I think that would be neat, just for me personally.
I'd buy both of them, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, looking at it again, Aja Kong is the mainline release for Kayfabe Heroes in October. She's not the limited 500.
Yeah, I was disappointed we didn't see that on the show because I thought that was kind of like a given. But yeah, I guess we just
She's
have to
kind of
wait.
far out,
Yeah, true.
I guess, is the thing. And also, like, the dude that does the sculpting, he does everything that they do. They have one sculptor, and he went from, like, the number of figures they were doing, like, the last couple of years to, like, there's 2 pre-orders a month for, like, the regular retro line. And then on top of that, now you're going to add in 2 more pre-orders bi-monthly for the O-rings.
Mhm.
Like that dude is overworked.
When he talked about the LJN too, he talked about not just figures that fit the line, but figures that are quote unquote toyetic, which is where somebody like Hayabusa would fit in there. But I also think like Aja Kong as an LJN would be fits right in too. That would be very, very cool.
Bull would be another good one if he still had
Yeah,
access to her,
definitely.
but I don't think he does, sadly.
Mm.
Yeah, I think beyond even just the O-ring stuff, like in general, got the most interesting. He's got the most interesting shit coming. Like he's doing different stuff. I know there's the majors are doing LJNs, but like he's at least trying something. It's very perceptive to have the idea that the retro boom is ending. In fact,
Yeah.
because it's felt that way for a hot minute, and it's going to be interesting to see what the next step is for like Mitch, for example.
Yeah,
Like, does he
because
go on with Regium?
well, it's interesting, yeah, because they're not like I don't think the Godwins set the world on fire, and I know some people had some complaints about them. So yeah, I don't know, and I think that's got to cost a pretty penny for him too. Uh, so we'll see. Maybe he just like sticks with the retros and makes like wrestle crap still for people who want that.
Maybe. I was talking with somebody yesterday because obviously when they announced Russo, Sean was like, I hope Brian Last isn't mad at me. Tell Cornette to get in with us. And I've heard the Cornette reasoning on his podcast about like, well, if I license myself to these motherfuckers, then I'm not gonna get to keep all the money the figures make, which that's valid. Capitalism is what it is, it's valid. But I also like my counterpoint is you might sell all these figures to people that aren't traditional collectors, but the traditional collectors look at those figure toy company figures and like I love Bobby. I've been a huge fan of him since I was little. Stan Lane is fucking tremendous. I even like Dennis Condrey. As a performer, I like Jim Cornette. I'm not buying those fucking figures. They're dog shit. They don't fit in with anything that I have.
Yeah.
But if you did like Hasbro style Midnight Express, or God forbid LJN style Midnight Express, I have the big rubber guy rock and rolls in the living room. I'd fucking buy a Bobby and fucking stand to put with them.
Yeah,
Do
for
them
some
O-ring
reason,
style. I'll buy
for,
them.
for some reason, I can picture like Bobby Eaton with like the Owen sculpt in my head. Yeah, I think the Midnights are very easy ones for retros, especially when Kate WK is most likely doing the rock and rolls. I mean, come on, it's a
And
perfect
he did the
fit.
Fantastics too.
Exactly, yeah. And O-rings would be
He's
cool as
collecting
well.
your greatest rivals, Jimmy. Give him a fucking call, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
it's just got Wendy's and black people on next, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately. That guy having a regular podcast, on one hand, it's very good to know who the shitheads are. On the other, like, goddamn, Jimmy, you should have just signed a fucking merch deal with one of these indie figure companies and shut the fuck up and went away.
I was there's a video popped up.
What an asshole.
It was him talking about Starlight Kid, and I was just like, I don't even know why I clicked on it.
Oh,
Like he,
I can fucking imagine.
well, from what I remember, he said she was a another like mud show wrestler or whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know a goddamn thing about her, but okay, whatever.
No, but he knows what's going to play to the fucking people that listen to his reviews because they want somebody. The people that listen to Cornette's shit are WWE fans or quote unquote classic wrestling fans who just want somebody that they remember to fucking tell them, yeah, this shit sucks. So they feel validated because somebody in the business tells them this shit sucks.
Yeah, it's for someone who doesn't
Remember,
like.
the same
Sorry.
guy heaped praise on Takeshita until he heard that Takeshita worked in DDT. Not that Takeshita did anything like with a blow up doll or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just that he wrestled for DDT and Cornette immediately did a hard 180.
Yeah, it's very much like for someone who hates conservatives, it's very much like a grifting conservative YouTube podcast where it's like, we know what to focus on, we know what to hate. He has a shitty cartoon thumbnail of him and whatever the subject of the day is. Very much like
I'm
the
glad they
same
got Travis
sort of thing.
Heckle off of those because like the YouTube algorithm used to throw those videos in front of me and I would see artwork by that guy that was just like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have fucking been paying this piece of shit to do this art for this long because what the fuck is this? The Swerve Strickland Mighty Joe Young thing. Like, I will never forget that. That is a Travis Heckle special. I've known that guy since like 20 years ago on the Phil Singer Games message boards. It does not shock me that he devolved into a full on fucking. It does not shock me one iota that that's who he turned into or he presented himself to be. Finally, he was one of the guys that would DM me really fucked up shit when I was like 16. Not like sexual shit, like sexual harassment, but like really weird homophobic shit because I was a really big Terry Gordy fan. I
A
don't
weirdo.
I don't know, man. Yeah, like there was another guy on that board. His name's like David Stutz. His name on the board was like Havoc. That guy would DM me talking about how, oh, when are you gonna go dig up Terry Gordy's body so you can finally suck his dick? Shit like that. Like, fuck off. That dude's like 20 years older than me too. DMing a fucking teenager that's some shit that you get your computer taken away and you thrown in federal fucking prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like Midnight Express figures that don't look like shit, and I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I know that like one of the things KWK thought would really help the O-ring line is getting the Road Warriors, but then you have to do like 1 of 1,000 of like every attire they ever wear to hopefully make it back. And even I think he's cognizant of the two that are really going to sell is just regular WWF and the same NWA ones everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
I really don't think 97 LOD is going to set the world on fire. I don't think blue WCW LOD would do a lot for people. And I know people like the SummerSlam 92 look, but I think if you offered that or the red to most people, they're just going to take the red because it's the default. It's what they're in.
It's interesting that Epic still didn't get that SummerSlam 92 LOD out.
Yeah, that is really interesting. And also the majors just they did like reworked versions of the Big Bad Toy Store exclusives in that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange. Oh, we should probably talk about the majors stream because they had some stuff to show, I guess. As Instagram is trying to run like I'm on fucking dial up.
Yeah, I saw that Zack Ryder, Mattel, and I was like, gee, I wonder who made that gear.
Yeah, it's not hard to figure out, huh?
Nope.
So they did show renders of James J. Dillon and Barry Windham. So if you've been playing the long game and you actually bought those Arn and Tully figures, you'll have the 1988 era Four Horsemen complete here. JJ Dillon looks great, honestly.
Mhm.
The Barry Windham looks fucking tremendous. It's maybe my favorite Barry Windham figure we've ever gotten. They showed a sketch of the Macho Man in like it's the orange gear with the jacket and hat from the fourth Hasbro. I don't know why the hell it took them this long. Like why you do like USA Macho Man and all the stupid baseball ones, and it takes you this long to show this version of Randy Savage.
Yeah.
That's going to be a super deco heavy figure. It's going to look really cool. There's a bloody Shotzi coming. I don't give a shit. The Killer Bees is an interesting pull because I do think these are better than the original LJNs, just going by the sketch. But it's also the Killer Bees, and I don't.
I'm just looking. Someone posted 13 minutes ago that the Bash at the Beach set was on Walmart Canada. That's out of stock again. Those are flying off that website.
We got the Barbarian, like the 1991 singles version coming.
Mhm.
Always thought that was a cool look. I wish KWK could get him in Warlord and do the singles versions of them in the line. Nikita Koloff is coming. A removable headband, which says to me they plan to do a babyface version of him at some point. They're doing another Ric Flair, this time in a robe, this time specifically based on the 1992 Royal Rumble, and I have zero problem with that being the version they're targeting. They also announced that they have Andre the Giant, Jacques Rougeau, Skinner, Marty Jannetty, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, Mike Shaw, Hercules, Paul Roma, John Norden, more coming soon. I'm guessing Herc and Roma are going to be. Tito's probably going to be all Matador. Martel's probably going to be like slicked back hair model. Jacques Rougeau's probably going to be Mountie. Mike Shaw's obviously Booger. I do not know what version they're going to do unless they're going to try to redo the original.
Still very glad that we're getting Rick Martel from all sorts of different people because he's great.
Yeah, he fucking rules. They're doing another Big Rubber Guy Sting, this time without the rat tail. He's in black and yellow. It's a WrestleCon 1 of 1,000 exclusive, so I will never own it. I know you're hyped about the Big Rubber Guy's Chris Jericho. The sketch is really funny looking, I'm not going to lie.
I didn't even see that.
They're doing a Darby Allin, which is cool because the Jazzwares one looked like absolute fucking horse shit. Sketch on that's really good. Kenny Omega is a good pick for this line. I also think doing the Captain America gear is really stupid. He only wore it once, and it's not a match that I think a lot of people. It's not a match I ever see people talking about like it was great or whatever. We've got 3 MJFs coming. One based on Double or Nothing. One in the Chris Candido inspired gear from Revolution, and one in black and gold gear that I'm not sure when he wore it. It was also very funny to hear Brian Myers say the Candido gear was Terry Funk gear. Like, Candido wore those same tights with 2 elbow pads and the fucking poncho and hat. Also, the match in question took place in Los Angeles, which is where XPW was based. And guess who wore that fucking gear in XPW? Chris Candido.
Yeah.
We're getting a Taz, like ECW Taz with the FTW belt, and then a different ECW Taz that's bloody. So basically, at this point, it's a matter of fucking Jeremy Padawer just did not want to do these things. He didn't give a flying fuck damn about making sure that AEW line was successful. He just wanted to fucking piss around and hopefully have a line successful enough to try to get the WWE license from Mattel, which is kind of what I thought back in like 2020, 2021 anyway. But God, it became more abundantly clear. And then once it was clear that they were going to sign another extension with the WWE Mattelware, fucking Jeremy just threw the fucking line down the goddamn elevator shaft. It's crazy how like dead that line felt once you got to like 2023.
God, I hate their social media pages. Like, they're just jumbled with all sorts of shit. And I was looking for the Taz. I did find it, but like,
Oh, I'm
all
on
this
just
shit
regular
here.
collect major. I would never go to the major WF5 page looking for. I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah, the
They
Jericho
announced
that they're doing is like just him in a purple shirt. Yeah, gross.
it's a
Popeye.
really funny looking sculpt. or Sculpt Sketch.
Where did
They announced a ton of licenses. Oh, go on.
no? You were just getting into it. I was going to say, where did the idea come from to do Popeye and the Kool-Aid Man?
I have a story about the Kool-Aid Man momentarily.
Uh-oh.
They announced they're going to do the Princess Bride, and we've got Dread Pirate Roberts and Fezzik coming because they have the rights to do Andre. They might as well. um, there's a Flash Gordon Big Rubber guy coming. I popped when I saw the Phantom. I'm not going to buy it, but I popped. They announced Popeye and Bluto. I don't know who the market is for LJN style Popeye figures. So
It's a neat idea, I think.
I don't know who these are actually for. So the Kool-Aid Man, I sat in the break room one day during one of the breaks while we were unloading truck, and I was like, the Kool-Aid Man was created by the same accident that created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Daredevil. And throughout the rest of that shift, I concocted that he was actually fabricated by the Wakandan government as like a security detail for T'Challa and his father. And by the end of the day, I had come up with a pretty solid comic book pitch that I think would sell 40 million units, but it would also require multiple licenses to pull off.
Yeah.
Because you got to get the Kool-Aid Man, then you got to take it to Marvel, and then you got to deal with the editorial office. Then you're probably going to get like 5 issues in, and then they reboot it with a different fucking writer, and then they'll let that run for 6 issues, and they'll reboot it again. It's a whole fucking thing. They're doing the main villain from Kickboxer, and it does look like from the sketch he's going to have the glass on the taped hands. I think I'd rather see the Kickboxer figures in like reaction style or like O-ring style or even like Hasbro style than LJN. But it's cool. If you have a juggalo in your life that collects LJN style wrestling figures, the Insane Clown Posse is another license they picked up. I have no interest. They're doing more MLB mascots. They're doing the Cubs mascot and the Boston Red Sox mascot. I don't give a shit. For their major stars line, they're doing like MLB players. They're doing Ohtani, Paul Skeens, Juan Soto, and Aaron Judge. I'll probably grab the Ohtani. And the last slide they have that's relevant to that live stream, they're expanding the Big Rubber Guys Extreme line, and the names that they have to announce were Francine, Shane Douglas, Chris Candido, Blue Meanie, and Steve Carino, which is a very interesting name. And if I was Zombie fucking Sailor, I would have been on the phone to him in about 4.5 seconds.
He's still with WWE, right?
I think so, but I would have extorted the majors for that fucking contact information, and I would have been like, "Hey, Steve, I do this thing called the Pinnacle Collection. You want to be fucking part of it?"
Yeah, I see he was working in Indy. I think he became like champion recently, right?
Yeah, he's like working with some indie company in North Carolina. It might be one that his son's involved with.
Yeah, probably.
All things considered, very strong showing from like Major in their live stream or their pre-tape stream for Comic Con. Like they showed cool stuff. How much of it I would buy, I don't know. I don't have. I kind of sort of have the money for right now, but I don't really have room.
Yeah, I hear
But it might be tough passing up the Hercules and Roma. I imagine same sculpt for Hercules as the Trunks ones, but also they're stocking their shit on their website now. So the pre-order is the order does not appear to actually be the case. Excuse me. Was there any other noteworthy toy news? I don't feel like there was.
Oh, I mean, there was a lot of stuff shown. So many stuff
Yeah.
shown.
Oh, we saw the Hasbro Street Fighter movie figures. I kind of think they look like shit.
Yeah, I think
We're not getting Honda, so I don't fucking care.
they're pretty funny. I mean, seeing the Roman Reigns like that was got a laugh out of me. What else did we have? God, I mean, it's Comic-Con, so there's like so much that went
Oh,
on.
this is relevant to me. Jada Toys showed off Wave 2 and 3 of Invincible. They all look great. Wave 2's Omni-Man, Battle Beast, and Adam Eve. Wave 3's original costume, Invincible, Thrag, and Alan the Alien. These all look great. Like, Jada makes really good shit. I know people want them to have the AEW line. The problem is you're going to get like 3 figures a year at that point.
Yeah. We did see McFarlane showed off some new Mortal Kombat 2 packs. I certainly hope that they're still doing singles as well, because I can't imagine just releasing a blue Shang Tsung. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't remember seeing the Shang Tsung. Who's he with?
Oh, well, now that you asked me, I can't remember. But I definitely saw him. Maybe it was Johnny Cage that he was with.
So I saw a Jax that was in blue.
Oh yeah, I definitely saw that Jax as well, but there was a Shang Tsung there. Of course, if I look for it, I'm gonna get results for anything but, right?
Welcome to the modern age of search engines.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Let's see here. There's a Kung Lao and Jax 2-pack coming. I don't know what game Kung Lao is supposed to be based on, because it looks like he's got the MK3 pants on, but the upper body is MK2.
Yeah, I was
So
confused about that as well.
I'm not real sure. Shang Tsung does come with Johnny Cage, which also, it might just be that it's the render, but it looks like that Johnny Cage has a different head sculpt. We got Baraka and Smoke. And that's it for the 2-packs. They also showed they're doing the individual like Ice Clone and Invisible figures of Sub-Zero and Reptile respectively. I don't know what the fuck he's doing with this line.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just do a blue Shang Tsung. That's player 2. It would be ridiculous. What was that?
Yeah, but
Yeah, go ahead.
this is also Todd McFarlane you're talking about.
Yeah. What was that Scorpion you showed me?
Oh, that was somebody taking the McFarlane Classic Scorpion and just pulling the mask off his face.
Oh, that was very strange to look at.
That was hilarious. I saw that and I was like, I'm sending that to everybody that fucking has ever seen one of these toys.
First, I was like, are they doing like a soul sucking version, or like what's going on here?
It's so I thought it was interesting that like apparently the fucking mask is not actually sculpted on, but that is what it is, I guess. They you got to cut the corners where you can cut the corners.
Yeah.
I saw that he did a presentation for all of those Sports Picks figures that we already know are out because they're in stores right now. And like Comic-Con's probably not the right place to show off $20 sports figures. I'm just being honest.
It's interesting that he talked about having a fully animated Spawn movie with Keith David and Mark Hamill.
That he's not going to release it because he's fucking Todd McFarlane.
Strange, very strange.
And he talks about he keeps rejecting scripts for the movie, and it's like the window is coming past. The superhero movie boom is fucking dead. There's a point like 7 or 8 years ago where a Spawn movie probably would have cleaned the fuck up at the box office. Like just based, like you could have put based on like the best selling indie comic of all time, and it would have generated so much money. It would have been fucking disgusting. And also, if he would have released it 7 years ago, that would have been right around the time of Spawn 300, which was a huge fucking deal. I was out of reading comics by and large by that point. That was around the time I got back in. But I remember the hype for Spawn 300, and it was like, holy shit, 300 issues of Spawn. I had no idea that was still a thing. And it's frustrating because I like Spawn. I love Image Comics. I would like to see more stuff from Image Comics, being made available in other mediums, especially if it's, done well.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't have any sort of fucking expectations for anything Todd McFarlane's involved in, to be honest.
Yeah. I was just reading that article again about the animated movie. What a bunch of bullshit. Like, talking about maybe releasing it if the movie does well and shit. Just shut up.
I might release this unrelated thing if this movie that's never coming out does.
Yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. I'm checking Preternia to see if there's anything. I think those. Do you see that non-playable character line?
Oh, from Big Bad? Yeah, that's an interesting line. Just kind of like
Yeah.
generic motherfuckers to have in the background for your photography.
There's a newscaster. He's got a microphone in one hand and a cigarette in another. Somebody said it's Harold Ramirez from G.I. Joe, and it looks exactly like that screenshot. So yeah, pretty much. What else do we have here?
They're also doing The Rocketeer, I saw.
Oh
Big
yeah,
Bad.
that's very cool. Frazetta Girls Icon Collectibles Princess of Mars. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I just saw the Rocketeer there. Let's see, we've got Solomon Grundy.
Oh, also, it should be noted, Jada with their Street Fighter Alpha 3 line, they've deviated from doing the exact same people that Storm are doing. They announced Sakura, Guy, and Adon
Yeah.
for Wave 2, which is smart because you shouldn't be releasing the exact same fucking characters that Storm are also releasing because it invites a very unfavorable comparison. Like a
Yeah.
very unfavorable one.
A lot of Mezco is announced, a lot of stuff from them. Heat Boys, I don't know who Heat Boys is, but they're doing Doom.
I saw that Mezco posted a teaser for like a 112 blade, and that thing's
Yeah.
going to be like $100, but that thing is going to be, oh, speaking of things that are going to be a little expensive, InArt showed off Absolute Batman, like a 112 scale figure. That thing's probably going to be like 100 just because of how big it is. But like, what a killer figure. Like, Mattel is not going to touch that. But Mattel is also probably going to be like the 30, 30 region.
Who else is doing Mortal Kombat again?
Mondo announced they're doing 1/6
Yeah.
scale Mortal Kombat.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
You know what I would really love is if Mondo could do 1/12 scale Mortal Kombat. They'd still be like $100, but Jesus Christ, they better figures than Todd McFarlane shitty.
Just looking at this Earth X Captain America, isn't that just Kurt Angle?
You can look at it that way, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's got going on there. Did they even show any figures for the Doomsday movie? I don't think I saw anything.
No, but there's also within the collectors community a really negative connotation towards MCU stuff. And also,
Yeah.
I think they'll show those on like a Hasbro, like, what are they called, like fan stream? Because the Hasbro PulseCon or whatever is in like a month or two.
4 Horsemen Infinite Legion Skeleton Warriors.
Yeah, I got sent those the other night, and I took one look at them, and I just replied with "fuck yeah, those look dope," and I went back to sleep. They do look great.
Yeah, I have that show on DVD. I think I was the only kid that watched it. We got a new G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter, which is funny because we talked about he was part of that other line. Was it Action Force?
Yeah.
So he's all over the place still.
Oh, I just looked up how much like Heat Boys figures cost. I think I'm not going to be in on that Doom line.
Yeah. Some different Conan figures seen. So much stuff. Yeah, there's the Street Fighter.
So little of it feels like it's of any fucking consequence too, which is the weird thing.
Yeah. I wonder why they gave Ken white gloves.
I don't know.
It's an odd choice. Ghostbusters Kenner Classics. Those look cool. Just like when I was a kid. Those are the same things. Anything else? There's that
Dude, the poses that they did for the official shots of these Street Fighter figures are fucking embarrassing. How are you making Street Fighter figures and you can't even get Ryu into a proper Hadoken pose? But there are no less than two other lions at this same price point in the same form factor doing the video game looks that have much better fucking posing. Oh, speaking of Hasbro, probably the biggest thing they showed that wasn't like the thing I'm going to talk about next. They're doing Legend of Zelda, and we saw
Yeah.
Ganondorf, Link, Zelda from Tears of the Kingdom. Those look great.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at those right now. I just got to those. Yeah, they look very good.
Those are neat. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, so I don't have any attachment to that version of those characters. They're neat.
There's a
The
Santa
biggest,
Claus Batman.
yeah, that doesn't
Oh,
shock me.
I feel like I should get that for Christmas. Put it up somewhere.
I saw that they're doing a made-to-order Marvel vs. Capcom Sentinel. I pre-ordered that thing so fucking
Yes,
fast.
I saw that too.
I gotta
Yeah,
have it.
we're seeing a few different Universal Monsters line, including WWE. They're doing Dracula CM Punk, which was a choice.
Yeah, and fucking werewolf Jacob Fatu because he's the Samoan werewolf.
See, SH Figure Arts is doing a Berserk Guts Battle Armor
They've done a
figure.
few figures for they've done a few figures for Berserk.
Yeah, the bootleg I got is actually really good. Like, completely fine, and it looks good. So, I think that's the main things here. I don't see anything else that really pops off.
Is there any update on the Ultra Pro Cinematic Universe?
No. Actually, I'll say this. I didn't get as much negative reaction from my poster as I thought I would. There was actually a few people that were seeing it from my point of view, which was nice to see. You know, it was cool to see people just like not blindly attacking me. I mean, there was two people. One person I talked about last week, and someone else, and it was funny because both of them started their responses with a variation of "I know business," and it seemed like they did not know business. Uh, the guy that responded to me, the second guy was like, he's like, it's the most UPW is like the most original IP, and I'm like, what do you even mean by that? Like, what does that mean? Because there's been video games out that are different ideas, and I mean, you're talking at the end of the day, you're talking about a wrestling game. What's original? It's like saying, looking back at the '90s and saying Natsume Championship Wrestling is the most original IP. Power Move Pro Wrestling is the most original IP, and he's like, name a multi-layered IP within the past 10 years. And I was like, well, Among Us. And he's like, oh, Among Us has only been a party game. And I was like, no, there's an animated show on Paramount Plus. He's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I've never heard anything of this. And so sure enough, it's true. There is an Among Us animated show. So the person who said he knows business completely discredited a video game for just being a party game that actually has made the leap over to an animated program. So there was that, and if you wanted other examples, there's Cyberpunk 2077. Cuphead has had like a show on Netflix that's like 2 or 3 seasons. Life is Strange is going to be made into a TV show. Until Dawn has had a movie and is apparently getting a sequel. Other stuff that's being worked on: Ghost of Tsushima, Stray, Sifu, Dredge are all supposed to get some adaptations. So there's plenty of video games that just aren't video games that have made the leap into other media, and to proclaim that UPW is like the most original. I don't even know what you're really saying. It's just illogical. This is also a
Wrestling
guy.
fans are also like very deep in the bubble. A lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a guy that had the DEI detected attached to his account, I remember um his name from that. Um, so yeah, I don't see anything much going on. I mean, Jay Barnacles posted our old interview with Sam, which I thought was interesting because I remember my audio being absolutely shit on that episode. That was also episode uh 17, which shows how long ago that was, right? Like holy shit. But yeah, like I said, not really much negatives coming from that, which I was happy with, you know. Not everyone on there is just you know, you agree with
I
everything
lost
that
you
I
for
said.
like 45 seconds.
Oh really? Oh weird.
Yeah.
Oh. Um I don't know where I left off.
It
Um
was something about an interview with Sam, and then I heard nothing for like
oh,
maybe
okay.
closer to a minute solid.
Oh, weird. Jay Barnacles posted the old interview we did with him, which was episode 17, which feels like forever ago now. And I just remember that episode my audio was really bad. So I wouldn't want to go back and listen to that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was cool to see that not everyone on there is just like, you know, praise the high heaven and agree with everything that's said, and there's no negatives. Um, so yeah, it
Uh,
was I had a better outlook of that Discord. Um,
A
from that than I
whopper of
had
an
in a while.
episode this week is the very first line of this podcast, and it's 2 hours and 55 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like I've used that line like 20 times now, though.
Yeah, no, a whopper of a podcast used to mean something completely different when you look at
Yeah,
some of the fucking marathons we've done. Jesus Christ.
I think that 11-hour one was like actually the best ever because just the length of it, I think, is so ridiculous that I kind of love it.
Yeah, I'm glad that worked.
Yeah, I'm glad my computer didn't break when I tried to put everything together.
Yeah, that was of all of my really big brained ideas, that's Jesus Christ. That's one of the better ones. Yeah, last year was where we really kind of got in our bag about doing like really long like most of these ones from last year are like 3 hours. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, I mean, it just happens, right? Like whatever's going on in the week off, we've missed a few weeks. Like what is the news like? What is going on in all the different things that we talk about? So we're not starved for coverage, that's for sure.
I was gonna say, why the fuck was the GKO Power Pro 96 episode so short? That was the episode I recorded solo as the first solo manga zone. And that was, dude, I seeing that takes me back to like every Friday going into Christmas for like the 2 months prior, I was having like fucking serious mental breakdowns every week.
Mm.
Not even like work related, just like I was stressed and then some stupid shit would happen and I would just fucking, oh my god, man. God, 11 hours and 11 minutes. I love how that's episode 100 when really it's like episode one, like 19.
I know. You know what's funny? Last week you said, "Can I put a different intro?" And then I uploaded it without an intro and an outro because I completely forgot to do anything.
Uh, that's okay. I just wanted to use like actual Fire Pro music because my brain wants Fire Pro Wrestling every time I reach for a wrestling game right now. Which is weird because I played a crazy amount of Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 or 64 last weekend. Because for some reason, like the emulator I was using, like just wiped the fucking save that I had, so I had to thug it out and marathon every single title path in that game.
It's interesting. Jeff Gerstmann played a World Tour because he's reviewing, not reviewing, but he's playing every N64 game now. He did every NES game, and now he's moved on to N64. And he's not really a fan of the Yaki games, but I don't
Why?
think. Uh I don't know. Like he said, he appreciates him. He's just not. He's weird when it comes to some games. I mean, one of the things that he mentioned is that it wasn't really a good representation of WCW, which World Tour, definitely wasn't. Revenge was a lot better.
It's not.
But the way he was talking about it is like he felt that way about all the Yaki games on the N64, and I was like, that I don't agree with that one bit, because Revenge definitely got WCW right.
You mean to tell me? Hold on. You mean to tell me the fucking WWF WrestleMania 2000 where matches end in 3 minutes and almost always have a run in? You mean to tell me that's not a good representation of 1999 WWF where that should happen?
Yeah,
Well,
that's a perfect representation of WWF at that time.
yeah,
But
and No Mercy where matches are slightly longer and always have run ins? Really?
yeah, the way he talked about is like, I don't think he realized, and I mean, it took me years to realize how different VPW 64 is. With the much larger roster, and I don't think he realized that the way he was talking about it. Just talking about World Tour, I didn't talk about 64, but I don't think he really knew that there was a big change. And, so yeah, he didn't think too highly of it. I sent him the picture of Sting playing the game. Or Virtual Pro 64. He liked that. Classic picture. Every time I see Sting, but it's NWO Sting. Every time I see him playing that game, it makes me happy. He looks like he's having so much fun, and he's not even in the finished version. What a shame.
Yeah, he's in World Tour, but not Virtual Pro, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is so strange. Why?
I don't have a clue. What was the other thing I saw that I was gonna bring up? I don't even remember now. Oh, AEW Revolution is tonight. Not Revolution, I'm sorry, Redemption is tonight. I'm not watching.
I'll watch it.
I have to be up for work tomorrow. I know the show's starting a whopping 1 hour earlier, but it's an AEW pay-per-view with 10 matches. That shit's not ending until like 12:45, even if it starts an
Oh
hour
yeah,
early.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Sorry, go on.
I just want to say it's really hard to justify that kind of investment in time when like I can watch a New Japan show that has 9 matches on it and sometimes they're fucking in and out in 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, the Stardom had a show last night that I think was 2 hours and a half. So it ended like 3:30 my time, because it's doing the 5-star tournament still. Yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, I'm not necessarily looking forward to anything. I don't even remember half the matches, but may as well
I'll
check
run
it
down
out.
the card. It's okay. I'll run down the card. We've got the fucking conglomeration of O'Reilly, Cassidy, and Roderick Strong versus Jay Lethal, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson for the trios belts that don't fucking mean anything. Tekla versus Willow Nightingale. That's probably going to be a good match. I don't think the outcome's in question at all. Mark Davis versus Andrade for one of the 6 fucking undercard men's titles that don't mean anything. Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight for the world title. This will probably be good. I know you're excited for the return of the Painmaker against Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh my god!
Um,
Like those promos that he was doing is like you. It, as soon as that idea came up, you should have said no. Like, I'm not giving this old man this time to cut these cringy ass promos in a dark room.
Tony Khan thinks Jericho's a genius. Um, Kyle Fletcher versus Bandito for the international belt with everyone banned from ringside, which is that not the whole gimmick of the Continental title?
I thought so.
Yeah, well, the Continental title doesn't get defended anymore, I guess. So whatever. Edge and Christian against Claudio and Pac for the tag belts. I can't fathom giving a shit about this match. John Moxley, who by the way has been the Continental Champion since December, and Will Ospreay, who by the way is friends with fucking groomers and nonsense, against the Young Bucks, who by the way are still friends with a nonce. I The whole Death Riders thing is fucking stupid. Having them latch onto Will Ospreay feels like a weird political game being played by certain people. to stay close enough to the top of the card where they can headline, sort of talk the silly little guy who runs the company into giving them another opportunity. That match is not going to be good. I can already fucking tell you, Ospreay's not going to sell anything. Moxley's also probably not going to sell a whole lot. The Bucks are going to do 5 million fucking things. I don't give a shit about that match. Hikaru Shida is defending the TBS belt against Maya World. That could be okay. I don't have any problem with that match. Jack Perry, the Beast Mordos, Commander, Speedball, Nick Wayne, and El Clone are in a 6-way ladder match to determine the number 1 contender to the international title. I have no idea why the fuck this match is happening.
Beats me.
Why does there need to be a 6-way ladder match with a bunch of guys who are fucking... Beast Mordos has had visa issues, and so has Commander. That's why they haven't been on TV in a while. I don't know the last time Nick Wayne did anything of note on AEW TV. El Clone also had visa issues, so he hasn't been around. Jack Perry is never going to be a guy who's going to have a run with the international. I mean, you know what? I shouldn't even say that. Jack Perry could be the international champion. They don't give a fuck about that. That belt doesn't mean shit. In fucking Ball Speed's just in there because Ball Speed's going to do some shit that's going to probably look really cool. And they're in Quebec. I understand. Like, give them the spotlight. Maybe Ball Speed wins, but is Ball Speed and Fletcher a fucking Wembley match? What do you do with Okada? Does Okada wrestle Takeshita again? Because, Takeshita will be back by then. The G1 will be over.
Who knows?
And then we've got Juice Robinson and Jay White against Finlay and Clark Connors in a double chain tag team match. I don't know why this isn't double dog collar. Although I suppose after a certain point, it's a distinction without a difference. I have not watched in a hot minute. I don't think I'm watching for the foreseeable future. You know what? One of my biggest problems with the company is the in-ring product. Everybody does everything in every match, every pay-per-view, even the ones I like, still fucking way too long. Everybody does way too much. None of, especially like the guy who's about to be the world champion next month. You can't do any of your shit to him because he's not going to sell any of it. He's just going to pop right back up. Like, video game wrestling is a term that I think is really derogatory, and you shouldn't use it unless there's like a good example. The roster in that company plays like kids with Always Special on who only do strong graphics. And that's not fucking interesting to watch. It's funny because there was a point where like New Japan's main event style felt that way. And everything I've seen from the G1, and honestly everything I've seen from them this year, doesn't so much feel like that. It feels like we've pulled back the in-ring style a little bit to something a little more reasonable. AEW is not going to get there. They don't like telling people no. So I would like to see things like snap back around to being a little bit more reasonable, where like shows don't have to run 5 hours, because their pay-per-views ran 4 hours 5 years ago, and people didn't have a problem with the length of the shows. And you still got good matches, and everybody still got their shit. There's no reason to do needless overruns on your TV and pay-per-views. It's fucking stupid. And also, I love when people are like, oh, you're complaining about these great shows. I don't care how good you think a show is. I don't want to watch anything for fucking 5.5 hours with a 2-hour pre-show.
Yeah, it's very draining by the time you get to like the last few matches.
Yeah, I should not be like looking at my phone at 10 o'clock and going to my friend who I'm watching the show with, there's 5 fucking matches left, or there's 4 matches.
I'm glad the media scrums are nothing now.
It feels like they were nothing before because nobody asks any fucking real questions anymore.
Yeah, but at least
you're not going to get answers.
I guess at least the Punk one was interesting, but
yeah, that one's funny.
Yeah, they're just not worth even staying, around for. It's like they're just boring as hell now.
Yeah, a lot of things about that company don't feel like they're for me anymore, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. I can just watch it. and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else. This week has been such a fucking weird blur.
I mean, I don't think it's up your alley, but there was some movie stuff going around. The Clayface trailer came out. I think it still looks really good. They teased a full, full on Clayface at the end of it. Which I'm really interested to see, because how much is going to be like? Is it going to be like puppeteering? Is it going to be like a guy in a suit? Is it going to be CGI, a mixture of all the above? Very curious to see that final design. They had a teaser, a trailer for the Lantern show.
Yeah, I watched that. That looks like fucking shit. You're not going to
I
convince me otherwise.
I'm not trying to convince you. I mean, I liked it, but it is what it is. I think it's interesting that. I mean, I think you would have figured that there was space sections in it anyway, but a lot of people thought it was all going to be on Earth. So I mean, it was nice of them to at least show that in the trailer. I'm trying to think of what else. I guess they showed a new trailer for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I watched that trailer and got the same vibe that I did watching all of the trailers for all of the live action Marvel Disney Plus shows. Like I was like, let's just fucking see, and I was like, oh god, this reminds this fucking looks like every one of those shithead shows. The Clayface trailer I thought looked cool. I don't know if I'm gonna go see it in the theater, but like,
I
got no problem with that.
I kind of don't want to see it in theater because of body horror. I'm like, I don't know about that stuff. Maybe something I have to wait for on digital. I mean, perfect time to release that movie around Halloween. I mean, you can get a much better release date than that. Also, I guess they were filming the Batman 2 in Liverpool with him like riding on his motorcycle on a snowy set. There's some rumors about the Court of Owls in it, but like nothing confirmed or anything. Or what else did we see? They put out a new they showed a new Avengers trailer at Comic-Con.
Oh, that looks like shit. The one that they dropped this week?
Well, there was a new one that they showed yesterday.
Okay, I saw the one they put up this week, and I was like, they're gonna do a number for this one, and then everybody's gonna jump the fuck off.
It's the one that they showed yesterday like leaked online, but it's very blurry and you can't really see anything. There was like people saying like, "Oh, this looks so much better." I'm like, you can't see anything. I don't have too much interest. I think the nostalgia bait, I don't like it. It was interesting when they brought people back. I didn't really care for Deadpool and Wolverine, but seeing some old characters I thought was interesting, and people from other worlds and stuff. But now it's like, why am I supposed to say? Why am I supposed to care? I'm going to say Professor X die for like the 20th time. Oh no. It's like, cool. Cyclops is in a better outfit this time, but I still don't really care too much. And yeah, the movie itself, like the trailer that they did release to the public with very terrible CGI, and yeah, I think it was I forget the actor that plays Nightcrawler, Alan. He was here last year. I forget his name, but he talked about like how like all of his scenes are, maybe not all of them, but like some of them were like filmed separately from everyone else, and like on a green screen, and it's just like, that's just depressing. So yeah, that trailer did nothing for me. They announced Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider, and didn't really care about that either. It's sort of thing where it's like sometimes when I see people get cast from Marvel, it's like, oh, that's a shame. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they finally got you too, right? So yeah, I think that was pretty much it for the Marvel panel. They didn't really show too much at all.
I know the comics side of things. They announced they're rebooting Venom again, which okay, that's fine. Eddie's back in fucking the symbiote. That's okay. I don't think we needed a new number one for that. You could have just wrote 2 issues to transition everything from Mary Jane to him. They're doing Maximum X-Men, which is, it weirdly feels like something that's higher priority than the regular X books because it's attached to the current Avengers. ongoing thing with Chip Zdarsky. That's kind of interesting because like the team's a little weird. Like Colossus is back on the team. You got Wolverine, Storm's the leader. I think fucking Firestar's there. I know she's a mutant, but that's like yeah, you pick that one out of your ass. And I'm gonna at least buy the first issue to see what's going on with it. There's a high degree of likelihood it just gets rebooted after 6 issues. It's really funny when you look at like all of the DC Comics stuff announced, where it's like, oh, they fucked Dennis Camp off from Marvel, and now he's doing a Batman book, and it sounds kind of interesting. You have all the absolute stuff where they're doing like a Beyond Arkham one shot to show what's going on with like the other 12. They're doing an absolute Black Canary one shot set between issues 1 and 3 and 4 and 6 of the absolute Green Arrow series, which is 2 issues in. That thing is fucking great. Excuse me. They're doing those deluxe edition hardcovers that are gonna basically be 2 of the trade paperbacks in one, which really pissed me off.
Yeah, you bought Superman. I bought Volume 1 of Batman, and I was like,
No. I bought both. I bought the first 2 volumes of Batman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I also have the trade paperbacks for Superman and Wonder Woman Volume 1. If I only knew.
Right? I mean, that's probably why the Batman Volume 1 went on sale on Amazon recently, because they knew that was coming out, I suppose.
It's possible, yeah.
I forgot to mention that the actor, again, can't remember his name, but he plays the android in Alien Romulus, and he was really good in that. He's going to be the new Black Panther for the next movie.
I am so cautious to believe any of these fucking movies are going to be coming out, honestly. Stuff gets announced, and that's on both sides. Like maybe they start pushing stuff out. I know that Feige, that stupid piece of shit, had the quote about like, well, after Secret Wars, we're going to reset to a more linear timeline that's easier to follow, and the X-Men are going to be at the heart of it. Like, okay, well, I'm glad you fucking figured out that they should have been the focus the whole time and not the goddamn Avengers. That's great. Happy for you. But it's also it's Marvel in the post Endgame world, and the only thing I have any remote faith in them doing, honestly, is fucking Spider-Man, because they've, for whatever reason, they at least make the effort for fucking Peter. They're not gonna kill the general public's desire to see that guy. Because if you kill Spider-Man in the eyes of the general public, what the fuck do you have? It would be like DC killing off Batman. Not literally killing off, but like, imagine releasing something so shitty the average person's like, yeah, I remember the last Batman movie, I'm not going to go see it. Yeah. They're never going to do that to Spider-Man. They're going to do everything they can to preserve the one guaranteed fucking draw that they have.
Yeah, it's... But, like, I mean...
I don't know.
What happens when they do, you know, a movie in the next stage and like it fails, and then they panic, and then they're going to go back to the old team? Like that's what they've did this time around. You know, it's here's so and so again. Isn't this great? You know.
There were probably always plans to bring back some of the people because of the whole fucking Kang the Conqueror multiverse shit, but they went way further with it than even.
Oh yeah, definitely.
My most cynical fucking predictions for this stopped well short of what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Oh, and before we go, I have to talk about Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
Saw the story trailer. They have changed nothing from the leagues. Fucking Sinister is a guy with good intentions who's, now granted, this is gonna flip mid-game because it's Insomniac and fucking somebody always turns on you in these fucking Marvel games they do. They're probably really not there to protect mutants. They're probably there to hoard them all so Sinister can fucking experiment on them or whatever. And then he's gonna become Mr. Sinister or some stupid shit. I hate the way the story looks. The X-Men don't exist, but Wolverine and Jean Grey have clearly known each other for a long time. The X-Men don't exist, so Mr. Sinister creates a team to protect mutants, which is like that's like sending me to protect the fucking cheesesteak at Arby's. It's stupid. And I've said all along, like mechanically, the game's going to be good. The gameplay's not going to be the problem. I said it's weak, but I do have a feeling that the story may end up souring my perspective on a lot of stuff because I'm
Hmm.
so tired of the Logan and Jean stuff. I thought it was weird when I
Yeah,
was a
me
kid,
too.
like that's Cyclops' girl, but like the movies are all about fucking cucking him and making him look like a bitch. I understand that Wolverine's the most marketable guy, but for Marvel, a company that really doesn't like to have like these marquee characters and long-term established relationships, they sure as fuck love beating people over the head with goddamn Wolverine fucking Jean Grey. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. That's Cyclops' girl. Wolverine, and this is one of the many things, honestly, that X Men '97 gets right. Wolverine's not the focal point. He should never be the focal point. He's the weird little fucker that's there when they do team stuff, often goes off by himself, and has his little adventures, which is why I like the idea of them doing a Wolverine episode every season. And then, like, he has his little sidekick that a lot of sections of Twitter think he's secretly getting down with. Like I've seen a lot of people have a lot of theories about Wolverine and Nightcrawler, and God bless. But like he's not this like uber badass, like ultra masculine fucking guy that he's portrayed as being in the fucking Fox movies. Wolverine is a far more layered character than just like, oh, I'm a badass and I've got claws and I fuck the redhead chick and Cyclops is a bitch. Like it's such a simplistic reading of the character, and we're going to be getting at least 60% of that in this fucking game because the people at Insomniac, their only frame of reference for comic books are video games and movies. And you don't know the characters if that's your only frame of reference. Because adaptations often vary wildly from the source material. Wolverine's a great case in point. That game, I don't know.
I didn't I didn't watch the trailer. I guess for me it's I'm more focused on the gameplay itself and the story. Yeah, I think after Spider-Man 2 I just don't really care too much about the story. Um but hearing you talk about it and stuff like Jean and Logan knowing each other and there's no X-Men, it just seems really, really silly to me. I mean, why not just have the X-Men exist? They can be out there somewhere. Um I guess does that mean the X-Men game's just gonna be an origin story for the X-Men?
Yeah, because if you remember the leak, the post-credit scene is them establishing the Jean Grey School for Gifted Youngsters or whatever.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert. So yeah, it's gonna get really, 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 really fucking stupid. And I wish, like, I wish so much that we could just get the X Men license to a company that'll do like a turn-based RPG for them, or like a fucking X Men side-scrolling beat 'em up with a big roster. Like my kingdom for a Marvel Cosmic Invasion type game that's just the X Men.
Yeah. I think
This
that
shit ain't.
that would obviously be a direction to go in for sure. Um, I was watching a video on somebody that looked at all the X-Men games on YouTube the other day. It's just like remember how it was just like so simplistic and you had the characters and you had their powers and now it's like look at the story and it's like but I don't care about the story, you know?
I would rather have a game like X Men Legends than a game like anything Insomniac has ever put out.
I want a new someone just remake X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean that was a fantastic game.
Well, that's what you're going to be getting with Insomniac Wolverine gameplay wise. It's clear they're taking heavy inspiration from that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I've got it ordered. Um, I mean, it's Wolverine, so I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. But yeah, there's the more stuff. Like I mean, you told me stuff in the past too about the story that I couldn't remember, and I'm looking back on it. I was just like, that doesn't sound interesting at all. I don't know.
I mean,
I
I think I
also
said it to you. Like, I'm buying it fucking anyway.
yeah.
It's Wolverine. We haven't gotten a new Wolverine game since I was in high school. But like, I'm not looking forward to this shit.
um, yeah, I get you.
Also, just before we go, I don't understand the Jey Uso mentored by Kawada career wrestler you showed me.
Yeah, there was a Facebook, not Facebook, a Twitter post that went around and said it was a creation of or an edit of Jey Uso in WWE 2K, and he's wearing like the yellow boots, black pants. Jey Uso attire during his stint of being mentored by Kawada, and after he became the IWGP Heavyweight Champion for the first time, an absolute legend. Oh, jeez, that's good stuff.
Hell is too good for some of these people.
I wonder if he has anything else on the account that's like that. Let me quickly check this account here. What is it?
I hope he
Prince?
doesn't.
Hey, his profile picture, Simon Phoenix. That's cool. Is it Simon Phoenix? No, it's not. It's the dude from... Who is that? Oh, I guess it's a creation. I thought it was Simon Phoenix at first. It is not. I don't see anything else yet. There's a lot of people talking about the Jey Uso and him posting their responses.
Yeah, that person deserves to have, like, I can't say chronic diarrhea because people are getting that now because of all the fucking the FDA regulations and shit being fucking pulled back.
I kind of want to see how far you can go with this. I mean, it's pretty goddamn funny.
I don't fucking know, man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth covering because it's going to be a few weeks before I'm going to have the schedule opening to record again. And I don't feel like we've glossed over anything. I think we've hit basically everything we need.
Yeah, there's geez, Blade Runner 2099 trailer came out. Feel like I've been waiting 2099 years for that. Looks cool. I mean, they didn't show a lot, just Hunter Schafer and Michelle Yeoh. As you can imagine, the discourse surrounding it is already insufferable. And that shit'll only get worse. They also showed the Neuromancer trailer, and I didn't even know that was filming yet. So it's cool to see both those projects coming out. Other than that, I don't think there was anything else off the top of my head. I'll probably get off here like 5 minutes later. Think, oh, we forgot to talk about this, but it happens every time.
It does, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I had something, and it's gone now.
Well.
I don't know what we'll talk about next time. Honestly, it's at minimum 3 weeks in the future. I have a feeling I'm going to work 3 straight weekends after having 3 straight weekends off. But we'll have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, there's probably going to be some shit goes down between then and now. So
yeah. So until then, take care. Don't be an asshole. And oh wait, hold on, real quick before we go. It is Sunday. I have not done my due diligence. Do not load that video up while I'm recording. Thank you. They did not put up a Coliseum video again.
Oh, really?
On Sunday. No, they put up the Hearts versus Demolition, and the picture of this match has a weirdly yellow tint to it. SummerSlam 88 version of the match, for the record. But they have not uploaded a Coliseum video. Strange and unusual. Well, can't really do anything about that. So until next time, take care and don't be an asshole, and we'll see you when we see you.